This is one of those stories that I feel obligated to do because it's making international headlines and is happening 2 hours away from me. Rob Ford, mayor of Toronto, admitted to smoking crack. Why? Well, let's back up. Earlier in the year, an editor from Gawker claimed to have seen a video of Rob Ford smoking crack, but the details were kind of sketchy. He had claimed that some guy showed it to him, told him he wanted $200,000 for the video, and then when they went to try and buy it, the guy had disappeared, and word was that the tape was destroyed. So you can understand why I was a little skeptical that this was ever a thing. Plus, does this guy look like a crack addict to you? Most crack addicts are twitchy, skinny fuckers. But Rob Ford doesn't just look like he's never missed a meal, he looks like he's invented a few others. But recently, Toronto police got their hands on the video, and Rob Ford has admitted to having used crack. And now it's being joked about on The Daily Show and Jimmy Kimmel. I saw a clip on the news where they were talking about it on The View. It's made international papers. Esquire and no doubt countless other sites are also talking about it in their blogs. And I don't really get it. He's the mayor of Toronto. Yes, Toronto is very large, population of nearly 3 million. The Greater Toronto Area is home to 5.5 million. It's the largest city in Canada without a doubt, and the fourth largest city in North America. But he's still a municipal politician. You know who should care about this? You know who should have a fucking opinion about this? The 5.5 million people living in the GTA. Not everyone else. Right now, there's some woman in California thinking, oh my god, Toronto's mayor smokes crack? Well, they should get him out of office right away. Please tell me how that affects you, woman in California. It doesn't even affect me, and I live less than 2 hours from Toronto. Everyone seems to have an opinion, ranging from having him removed from office to a public hanging, which you'd need some pretty fucking strong rope for. Plus, the guy didn't even have a neck. But I don't give a shit what they do with the guy. And unless you live in Toronto, neither should you. Hell, we got our own mayor problems. London's mayor, Joe Fontana, is going to court because he's been accused of using public money to fund his kid's wedding. That didn't make The Daily Show, and this is a guy who's accused of stealing money from taxpayers, which I think is a bigger crime than spending your own money to do drugs. Plus, people are acting like this is the first time the mayor of a large city has ever done drugs. Marion Barry, mayor of Washington, D.C., was actually caught smoking crack in a sting operation and did time for it. They didn't just have a video of him doing it one time. He went to a hotel room to smoke crack and cheat on his wife with an ex-girlfriend who had become an FBI snitch. And after he was released from prison, he was re-elected as mayor and is currently a city councilor. That whole thing made major headlines all over the country and probably around the world as well, but regardless of what the rest of the country or what the rest of the world thought of that guy, it didn't matter. The people living in the city didn't give a shit. They still wanted him to be their mayor. And that's how it should be. Not that we should elect druggies to run our cities, but that the people in the city should be the ones to make the call. Your opinion on Toronto's municipal politics is completely worthless unless you live in Toronto. Want to laugh about it? Sure. Go ahead, it's funny. Toronto's mayor smoked crack. It's not even a classy rich person drug. I mean, if a mayor is going to do drugs, coke would seem classier than crack. Sure, it's kind of the same thing. One's just a derivative of the other, but one was a staple of Hollywood parties in the 80s, and one is done by toothless people who blow other people in alleys for a hit. And what would Toronto be without a mayor who's a joke anyway? One of their previous mayors, Mel Lastman, was this guy.
With millions in inventory at clearance prices, who's better than Bad Boy?
Nobody!
So laugh about it, sure, but don't worry about it. Worry about your own city or town. There's probably some sort of corruption or scandal going on where you live, and if there's not, just wait a few weeks. It's a prerequisite to be a slimy motherfucker in order to become a politician. In fact, here's a good test to see whether or not you could become a good politician. Do you put the needs of others above your own? Ever? If you've answered yes, a career in politics isn't for you. Sorry.